Yo, fellas, what is going on? My name is Sweet Phil. Today, right here, I'm bringing you a budget build here. Everybody always comments how they love budget builds, so I'm bringing you another one right now. And today, we got Frozen Orb Energy Shield Sorceress. Now, any of these skills where you don't need to pump a ton into all of their synergies are really great options to then supplement with the safety of Energy Shield. Now that they have eliminated that mana burn bug from old Diablo 2. So we'll jump right into the stats here. First off, we've got just enough strength to wear your gear, and it is budget gear, like I said, so you don't really need a lot of strength. No extra points into dexterity or vitality, not a max vita build, but a max energy build here. So that is kind of interesting. You know, like I said, every other build is always max vita, but with energy shield, that's where you dump them all in energy. Resistances down here are absolute trash. Now, when you have a bunch of budget gear, this is going to happen, so you got to play a little bit careful if you know you have resistances this low, but the energy shield will help you out a bunch. We'll go ahead and look at the skill tree here, and we'll start off with fire. Very difficult here. I'll explain what you do. Put 1 point into warmth over here. Boom, you're done. We'll go ahead and take a look at lightning. A little bit more going on here. 1 point is static. A good 1 point skill. As you get better gear and you get skill gear to get these levels up, that will increase the radius for you. Very, very beneficial. That will help you out a bunch, but right now, just 1 point into it, you're good to go. Now, as you move down here, just 1 into charge bolt, lightning, and chain lightning, and also just 1 into telekinesis and teleport to get down to energy shield. Now here, once again, when energy shield is a mega safety thing here, but once you put all your points into there and max that out, then come back up to telekinesis and start putting points into that. That's what I'm doing here. So right here we are at absorb of 77, and I only got a couple extra points in here into telekinesis as I get up more levels, like I said, and as you get all of the skill quests done. I don't believe I even have all of the skill quests done on this character, to be perfectly honest. You can get this up higher and higher, and that will reduce the amount of mana consumed. Now over on the cold skill tree, this is another one where we got 1 point into frozen armor. Just adds a little bit of defense to help you out. Originally, I just, you want to get down to frozen orb. So you get all the way down here. These are 1 into blizzard, glacial spike, frost nova, and ice blast. And as you see, frozen orb gets a synergy from ice bolt. And obviously you get a minus to enemy cold resistance from cold mastery. Now there's no infinity here. Obviously, I decided to go ahead max that out. There's no way I could have an infinity on a budget build. If you have infinity, you don't need to max out cold mastery. And if you have a bunch more skill gear, you could get away with putting less points into the cold mastery. But because it's so budget, it really hurts the build if you only put like 1 point into cold mastery or something. So I actually maxed out cold mastery and I maxed out ice bolt. So that is kind of the best way in my opinion. I tried this out in other ways where I didn't put as many into cold mastery, or I split them between cold mastery and here to max out the energy shield for the safety, and that did not feel good. It just did not feel good. The kill speed was so slow that I couldn't even recommend. I would tell people never to do that, to be perfectly honest. So I got the most damage I could at this point out of Frozen Orb, and that's the 406 to 427 on each one of those little ice bolts. We'll take a look at the gear now. And over in the gear here, these are really, these are options. You want to strive, and this is all stuff that people could really get. If you can't get all this in the first week of ladder, I mean, you really should be able to, no problem. And there are other couple options down in the inventory right here that you can also use. The Spirit Sword, obviously, 2 skills, cast rate, hit recovery, just the mega stuff on there, a bunch of mana, and it's got magic absorb on there. So Spirit Sword, great option, obviously. Any of the other godly type items for the Sorceress, Oculus, Hoto, anything like that, obviously, if you get them along the way, do that stuff for sure. Up on the helmet here, this is what I always go to, and it doesn't really help the character kill, it doesn't help the character survive, but because the helmet is generally, in my opinion, kind of a weak spot early on budget, you could do a lore, you could do a peasant crown if you could find one, but I find this a good spot to get 70 to magic find. If you have budget gear, one of the most important things is, hey buddy, get better gear. And how are you going to get better gear? Right here, get some magic find. So a 3 topaz helmet up here, definitely a good option in my opinion. Over on the shield, a very good underrated budget option, Shale Eth to get a rhyme. So you get mana regen, all res cannot be frozen, and more magic find. So Rhyme is a great option. Down here you see I do have a spirit. Throw on a spirit if you can get one. You'll have to put more into strength, but before you can get that 4 per second monarch, you can make this in Nightmare no problem. On the amulet here, I just have a caster amulet. When you first do your first one, you're not going to get skills on it, but you still get cast rate, you get a little mana, you get a little mana regen, and hopefully some resistances and some other stuff to help you out. But getting past those first few breakpoints and getting up to a good faster cast rate breakpoint is very important to teleport around and stuff like that. Now here we got stealth armor. This one I made just in normal. Usually you make this in normal and you just use it all the way through till the end until you get something better. If you can eventually find pretty early on, you should be able to get yourself a Viper Magi. This is significantly better, significantly better than that. And this is still pretty budget and still pretty easy to find. So try to get one of these if you can. But if not, rocking that stealth is the way to go. Now over on the gloves, I decided to go with Frostburns and actually drop down a FCR breakpoint. But you get 40% increased mana because you see if you swap these out for Mage Fist, which is another option, it goes down to 1,000. This goes up to 1,400. That is a ton more mana. And because you're using Energy Shield, mana is kind of like your survivability. It's your life. So that is an incredibly large amount of extra survivability. Boots are going to be a very, very fluctuating area for everybody, depending on the best thing you can find. If you can find something this good, throw it on rare boots. Beyond that, there's alders. There's if you find water walks, if you find blah, 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 name the thing. You could be rocking Sanders maybe for the faster walk run because you can't find nothing better. But a set of rare boots or pretty much any of the unique boots you've ever heard of, throw them on here. War Travelers, great option to get magic find over here. This is going to be a very, very differing one for everybody. It's not like everyone can go get a Spirit Sword. Everyone can make a Topaz Helm. Everybody can make a Rhyme Shield. But over here, it's going to be very dependent on your luck and what you end up finding. Silk Weaves would probably be a very good option over here as well, in my opinion. For the belt, I actually have an upped gold wrap so I can have extra slots of potions down in my potion belt. Just get some magic find on there is pretty much all that's for. A caster belt, which I have right here, if you need to get up to that next little break point. Don't be afraid to make a caster belt. This is a very underrated, slept on budget option for sorceresses, in my opinion. But gold wraps where I went. I got a couple caster rings down here. Just the best rare rings or magic rings you can find. Anything that adds resistances or 2 mana, or if you need the FCR to get up to a faster cast rate breakpoint on those. On Switch here, I don't have anything. You could go with a lower res wand if you wanted to, but I did not get my hands on one right here. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the mercenary gear now. I just have a really budget, very early on made Battle Sith Insight. So you just need that meditation order to keep your mana up. And really, I mean, in hell, that isn't a lot of damage, but you could make this super early on, and maybe you could just make it in a better base, essentially. Here we got a Treachery. Hopefully you can get a Lem Rune. If there aren't really a ton of great options for mercenary gear to keep him alive, Treachery and a Tal's Mask are kind of the lowest I would really go. Beyond that, you could make yourself a Blood Helm to get Life Leech over here. And then on an armor, maybe just throw a stealth, just the best possible thing you could get. Even just going ahead and throwing an armor on there with 4 rubies in it or something to get life over here. Just the best you can. But this is the lowest I would say I would strive for. The lowest I'd recommend somebody use. You could get away with a Treachery and, like I said, a Blood Helm up here. But try to get your hands on this stuff if you can. If not, your mercenary is really going to struggle to survive. And if you're rocking this budget build, you might have seen down here, I actually have these antidote potions. Budget with energy shield. You really want to have antidote potions because it will suck away your health super fast. Poison does not go into the mana pool the way other stuff would with energy shield on. So make sure you have those antidote potions and really try to run away and don't get poisoned. I'm being perfectly honest. So here we are down at Andariel, kind of a go-to for sorceresses to farm. We'll go ahead and clear. I like to clear some of these guys out first, and then get Andariel to follow me around. And you want to make sure that poison does not hit you, and watch your mercenary here too. He can get slapped pretty quick if you aren't paying attention. I go ahead and give him potions sometimes too to keep him alive. That is completely up to you. You could just let him bite the dust, or you can try to save him. There you go. We got not a whole lot here. Brambled Mitt's going to be something GG. a couple bow skills, but nope. Let's hop to another good location, give you a little bit more example gameplay. So here we are at another good spot for these Frozen Orb Sorceress, or any really cold Sorceress for that matter, because Blizzard is known to come down here. And we are, you see right up here, the Ancient Tunnels. Now there are generally no cold immunes down here except for the random champion. And as you can see, a maxed out Frozen Orb does work okay. This is Players 1, but Players 1 is okay if you're hunting like uniques from the champions, because the champions will drop the same amount every single time. There was a incredibly unintelligent teleport on my part, but we're just trying to go quick here to give you some examples. I almost bit the dust, but no big deal. You can see the kill speed is okay down here. Not exactly super fast, but this is budget build after all. So here we are at the next place I'm going to show you, and that is the Stony Tombs. There's once again not really any cold immunes down here, but this is more dangerous than the Ancient Tunnels because of all the beetles that are down here. And if you get poisoned, the poison damage from these mages just seems astronomically more dangerous and deal more damage than it does really in anywhere else in the entire game. I don't know if that's just me or if it's everyone else is kind of noticing that, but you can see it does work down here, and you've seen when I got hit right there, it is more dangerous. So, and here is what happens once in a while. You will get champions that will spawn with cold immunity, but not really the regular monsters. Let's go ahead, one more pack here, and we'll show you. Here's some of those dangerous beetles I was talking about. Watch out for those lightnings. Those will deal a bunch of damage to you, so make sure you watch out. And mainly, the main thing, those poison mages that you just seen cast in there, make sure those do not get you, because like I said, they will chop you down quick. Now here we are, if you're looking to do new areas, here we are at the Arachnid's Lair. I personally hate the Arachnid's Lair because it is, like you see right now, completely empty, and there's every once in a while a monster. But you can go ahead and use it down here. There are almost no cold immunes once again. And this is a new 85 area, so you can't find every single item in the game. But like I said, you see how there's all these pillars in the way, there's all the different walls. Mercenary gets poisoned by the spiders, he gets ripped. Not my favorite area, but if you're looking for new 85 areas to do, this is another one. So there are other places you can use this, but this is the last one that I'm going to show you, and that is farming keys. Now if you want to too, you can come around and take out these specters along the way. They do have increased rune drop rates. Don't kill them underneath of the space though. Make sure that you take them out underneath of the over top of the walkway, so they'll actually drop items such as. But you can indeed come up and go ahead and farm the Countess with that. You've seen how fast he got taken out there, which is pretty crazy actually. But this is a build that can definitely rock out the Countess, or excuse me, the Summoner, to farm those keys that everyone's looking for to farm torches.